So picking up from the end of the previous chapter, Hawks has come in to try to save Lady Nagant from falling after All for One blew her up because she turned face. Turns out Endeavor is also showing up as well, and this is because after All Might survived his false death, he was able to contact them. Then we go into this little sequence where like Hawks isn't able to fly yet, but it's still showing us that his quirk is coming back and that he will, eventually get to his old self. And Izuku uses Black Whip to grab him in the nick of time and saves him and Lady Nagant from, splattering. But then Izuku says Nagant was granted a quirk by All for One, which was Airwalk. It probably came with some sort of trap built into it. So I guess that's the explanation on how All for One was able to remotely blow her up. Not gonna go any more into it, try to figure out how it works, because it honestly doesn't even seem like Horikoshi cares himself about this. But anyway, while they're being lowered to the ground, Hawks is talking to Lady Nagant. He's like, please tell me what you know. You can't die after being manipulated. You are a hero. You're Lady Nagant. And then she straight up tells him what he wants to know. She says, in the next 2 months, the target shall be brought to a mansion in Hybori Forest. So Lady Nagant is alive somehow. Another false death. I'm not really mad at it because I think Lady Nagant's a pretty cool character, and it seems like, since she's turned face now, she's going to become a hero again. And also she's a powerful female character, so the more the merrier. Not really sure how the logistics are going to work with her recovery and her being reintegrated into like pro-hero society or even the Public Safety Commission. I mean, she was in Tartarus for a legitimate reason. She straight up killed the president at the time of the Public Safety Commission. Granted, it was self-defense, but I guess it still doesn't even matter. I don't know. I'm sure they're going to bring this up again eventually, and then she'll get like a pardon or something. It just seems like she's probably going to be helping them, eventually. But anyway, that brings us to what I think is probably the most interesting part of this chapter besides like the very last panel. And Lady Nagant says there's a few people who were called on besides me. And then we see this silhouette of All for One with like 5 or 6 villain silhouettes behind him. But this has me pretty excited because this is what I wanted. I wanted like a League of Villains B team, which I guess this essentially is. And I'm also assuming that this is like the best of Tartarus, like that All for One was able to scrounge together. But that begs the question of like, can we figure out who is exactly in this panel here? Maybe there's 1 or 2 characters that, we might be able to decipher here. One of them, I'll just say, is probably Moonfish because he was shown to be in the Tartarus prison break and we haven't seen him since then. So I'm assuming that All for One was like, hey, join the B team. And also there appears to be like a short person or like an animal thing. I don't know. There's like something in the bottom right corner there. That could be something, or maybe it's not. I don't know. But as for the main piece of speculation here, you want to look to the left and you'll see the silhouette that appears to have like dreads or something. I'm sure I'm not the only one who thought this, but this guy looks very similar to Chimera from the Heroes Rising movie. This guy was a part of Nine's faction, and he was really powerful. Actually so powerful that I kind of had problems with it when I first watched that movie. Like his quirk is, I guess what his name is, Chimera. Like he has aspects of multiple animals, but he also has like super strength. Like he did like a Detroit Smash foot stomp. He's super tanky. And then he also can, for some reason, shoot fire from his mouth, but not only that, he can like shoot like a beam cannon from his mouth too. Like this guy is truly one of the most absurd villains that I've ever seen in this series. Like he pretty much has like 5 or 6 quirks in one. And I thought that, wow, this guy, he could have been used in the main series. Like he didn't have to be regulated to the movie. There was a lot of potential for him. So I think that would be awesome if Horikoshi decided to bring Chimera into the main continuity of the story here and had him be one of All for One's like top lackeys. And like I said, I'm just speculating. It's not confirmed or even close to being confirmed. It probably isn't even this guy. It's just some guy that has a silhouette similar to his, but I just think that would be cool if it was Chimera. But anyway, Endeavor's like wrapping everything up and he has Overhaul. And Overhaul is still, of course, complaining about having to see the boss and he wants to apologize to him and that wasn't the deal that he made, and it's just the same thing we've been hearing for like the last 5 chapters. And Izuku starts talking to Overhaul. He's like, Chisaki. Then Overhaul's like, shut up, you sick little I need that woman too. And then Izuku's like, do you remember what you did to Eri? And then Overhaul says, Eri, yeah, if only she were here. And Izuku says, seems like you've got someone you wish to apologize to. If only you could feel the same way towards Eri. The promise you made with Lady Nagant, I'll keep it. So I'm sure like 90% of us are like, no, Izuku, don't give this guy what he wants. Just throw him back in the slammer. But also we know that this is who Izuku is. He's like one step below being like full-blown Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. But it's clearly showing that Overhaul is not remorseful for what he has done. So I'm not really sure where his story is headed at this point, with Izuku potentially bringing him to the Yakuza guy. I still fully expect All For One or Shigaraki to take his quirk. I think that's his ultimate destiny. But what happens before that? Not really sure. I don't really care. Overhaul kind of sucks now. But then Overhaul's like, Lady Nagant and Chisaki, I've secured them. Let the police know. I'll bring them to an emergency hospital. Midoriya, you're also hurt pretty bad. You should go with them. And then we get like these two black panels, and one of them says All For One. And when we see like Hawks, Genist, and Endeavor, and they're like, take care everyone, be careful. And Endeavor's like, Deku, wait, don't be reckless. Then there's like this aggressive time skip with Izuku in front of the mansion mentioned by Lady Nagant. But he's also with Best Genist, Mount Lady, Endeavor, Kamui, Woods, and Edgeshot. Also, the mansion that they're going to is apparently the Creature Rejection Clan's hideout. We saw this place back in chapter 220 at like the beginning of the Villain Academia arc. The Creature Rejection Clan is pretty much based on who you think it is, but in this world, they like hate heteromorphic type quirk users. But considering that the Villain Academia is about to start in the anime, I really wouldn't be surprised if Horikoshi just shoehorned this in there so that it links up with that. But anyway, Izuku busts into the mansion and no one's there, which they say they expected. And then like this projection of All For One appears, and it turns out All For One expected this. He knew that Lady Nagant was going to turn face and spill the beans to Izuku, so that's why he set up this whole elaborate contingency. Then he goes on this long villain diatribe, but it basically boils down to All For One saying, in prison I never stopped thinking about you. Take that for what you will. My interests are no longer in All Might. You're next. You know, kind of like poking fun at All Might doing the You're Next thing at Kamino. And then the mansion explodes. So what does this mean? I don't know. I mean, like I've been talking about, there's been so many false deaths lately that like I can't really be emotionally invested in this. But also maybe that means that this is the point where somebody dies, because I'm not expecting it to happen. Not really sure, but if somebody does die, I guess it'll probably be Mount Lady, Kamui Woods, or Edgeshot, or maybe they get injured or something. Also, Deku has like danger sense, so maybe he could do something to save them in like a split second maybe. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Let me know what you think about this chapter in the comments. If you like the review, guys, please give it a like, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.